The thief first blocked the police's path, then reloaded his gun and started waiting for his prey. Shortly after, the police arrived there but were deterred by the blocked road. Seizing the opportunity, they simultaneously surrounded all the policemen, leaving them no chance to react. According to the plan, they first took off the police uniforms and wore them themselves, then loaded over 3 tons of gunpowder into a truck. The next step was simple. They were going to rob the world's largest bank. But they were no ordinary thieves because they had over 3 tons of weapons with which they could fight an entire army. Using these, they succeeded in getting inside the bank. However, they were waiting for orders from the professor, whose job was to sit remotely and explain the next steps to them. So the thieves who entered the bank started firing blindly. They had already hacked the outside gate so no one could hide. The thieves took all the bank workers with them. With their help, these men could exit the bank. So far, the plan went well, but now the entire country's police had surrounded the bank on all sides. People began to open the bank's vault without worrying about him. The senior opened the locker within moments, but upon seeing the cash, his son went wild with joy. The father explained to him that these bills weren't theirs because we would be tracked very quickly. We need to throw all this money in front of the police and come back to the bank. The professor's plan was to print new money using the bank's machines so the police could track it. Therefore, following the professor's instructions, the men went outside. As per the plan, they were to leave the money-filled bag outside and return to the bank to make the police believe they had become scared. The girl fired, and in response, the police also fired, injuring one of their associates. Now the professor saw his plan falling apart. A single mistake by the girl had cost them the game in the final moments. Outside the bank, millions of dollars were flying in the air, now worthless as only the police realized this because the professor was 2 steps ahead of them. He intentionally got his own associate injured and sent him back to the bank so that the police would believe that these people were now fleeing the bank, giving him more time to print more money. They were printing new banknotes worth $4 million per hour. The police couldn't conceive that the money they had left outside the bank was as insignificant as salt in the dough. The longer these individuals continued to take their actions, the more stringent the security measures outside became, because within the premises, the lives of over 50 people were in jeopardy.